Hi guys, so today I just wanted to do my foundation routine. That's going to include foundation, or primer, then foundation, and then I'm also going to include blush and bronzer. So let's just get started. Mine is a little bit different. Since it is winter time, I don't like to use a regular foundation. Normally I do use Revlon Color Stay, and this is actually in 220 Natural Beige, and this is the combination and oily skin version. But since it is wintertime and I do get a little bit more dry than oily like I normally am, I like to actually just use a BB cream. Now this is a full coverage BB cream. Well, I wouldn't say it's full coverage, but it's medium to full coverage. And this is in the shade Light Medium. This is the Garnier BB cream. And I like it. It has SPF 20, and it's pretty moisturizing. I don't find that it dries out on my skin. So first what I'm going to do is prime using, this is the Too Faced Primed and Poreless Face Primer. And I'm just going to start by putting this kind of in my T-zone, where I kind of have a lot of pores. And then what I'm going to do is, this is kind of like a little stippling brush. This is the Dual Fiber Eye Brush from Real Techniques, but it works pretty good for this. And I'm just going to use that to blend this in everywhere. And it kind of has like a blurring quality to it, while also filling in pores. It does say that you can wear this on its own, but I choose not to. I'm just going to make sure that's all blended in. And you can kind of see it already like fills in my pores a little bit. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my BB cream and just put a little, probably like 2 little drops just on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to use my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. It's just kind of like a nice buffing brush. And dip that in. And just buff it in. And I will say this is probably like half a shade too dark for me, but it does adjust after a while. It does lighten up a little bit. And then I also do blend it down my neck. And in a sec I'll show you one of my tricks for really making sure your foundation is blended in. Because sometimes when I have a smaller brush, I find that it's kind of harder not to have streaks. So what I do is I then go over it. This is the e.l.f. powder brush. It's just like a flat top kabuki. But this one's only $3, but I think it works great for powder, or just kind of this, because then you can't miss anything. Because we've all been there where, you know, you have that little spot that wasn't blended in, or, you know, it was my nose the other day. And this is kind of just your security. Okay, then what I like to go into is, this is kind of interesting. I take the I Love Stage Primer by Essence, and since this is kind of like orangey tone, this is actually like an eyeshadow primer, but it has good coverage, and since it is a primer, it's not going to crease. I just use it for under eyes. It still does kind of serve a purpose, because I do put shadows and stuff later underneath my eyes, and so it holds all that product there, and it's not going to let it move. So that's always nice. I usually kind of let it sit and warm up, and then I go in with the Flawless Concealer Brush by e.l.f. and I just pat it in. Now this is like a little bit more flimsy, so you can't really just pat it in and go. I'm going to use this also to blend it in. But right now I just kind of pat it just to kind of like let it thicken up a little bit and dry in a way, so that I'm not just swiping it around all over. And I'm not going to take it down too far, only if I need to blend it out. Okay, it looks good. And since my under eyes are a little bit more blue, the orange really cancels that out nicely. And then I just go over with the remainder of my BB cream and just pat that in. Next, what I like to do is not powder yet. Actually, yes, lately I have been powdering. I'm going to take this same brush, and this is the NYC, I think it's just translucent powder, and I just take a little bit in the cap. And then I literally just buff it everywhere. I don't use powder that often, but lately I've been finding that as the day goes on, my foundation's been moving a little bit, but I have been trying out a Victoria's Secret face primer, and I think this might be why. I don't think this really holds my foundation too well. I think it kind of lets it move and go patchy, so. But we'll just set it with powder in case. Okay, next what I like to do is I'm testing out, I usually just take any old bronzer, but I am testing out the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. I just got a little, kind of like a little sample size of it. It came in a little travel case, which I also use the primer from. So if you guys want to see kind of like a review on this, I'm testing out these products, and so far I really like them. So leave a comment below if you want to see more of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an e.l.f. angled brush. I can also do an e.l.f. review on the e.l.f. brushes because I have a lot of them. And I do like them, even though they are cheap. And since this one is kind of small, I like to just use it as kind of like a contour brush. So I'm just going to start it from the top of my ear, and then I'm just going to drag it in, and I'm not going to take it in any more than that. After that, I'm just going to use this to blend. And it might look kind of harsh now, but we will go in later with a kabuki brush. And I really like this. This does really smell like chocolate, so I'm excited. And then I add a little bit up here, just to kind of bring it all together. And then again, some right up here. And I'm not really contouring like super heavily, because some people might go overboard, but honestly it's whatever your preference is. And then just to be safe, you can go over it with a kabuki brush and just kind of blend everything out. But everything looks good. Next, what I like to do, I've been loving these not Too Faced, Tarte blushes. You can buy these all individually. This was a limited edition palette that I finally got my hands on. What I like to do is mix these two. I think this is like Dolly Pink or Doll Face, and I'm not sure what this one is. I think I lost the page. I just moved, so that's why like my curtains look weird in the background, but I'm gonna repaint and everything, and so I kept that little paper that showed the names, but I'm sure you can find it online. And I like to apply it right above my bronzer. I don't really like to just swirl it on my cheekbones, or on the apples of my cheeks like that. I like to bring it back and kind of blend it. And I don't know why, but I do like to add a little bit to my nose, because I feel like If I don't, it just warms up my whole face. I don't know why. Because everyone kind of has a pink nose. And that concludes my foundation routine. I usually like to end it with the Dewy Finish setting spray from NYX. These are about $8. I just hold it back a few inches, not too close, and it gives a nice finish, and I find it does set my makeup. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for another episode.